Hello, everybody. Welcome to Conversations Over Coffee. Thank you for joining us. This is our fifth episode. Fifth time. Yeah, fifth time around. I hope people are listening to us, but YouTube is a slow burn, and we're here for the burning. Yeah, that didn't sound right. But anyway, we're going to have some fun. So just get your coffee if you drink coffee and, take a seat and just let's have a conversation together. So, how's your week been going, man?
It's going. It was a pretty good week. How was your week?
Hey, I can't complain. Adult life, adult stuff, exciting stuff, buying a new refrigerator.
That did feel like a very grown up thing to do.
Yeah, that's when you know you're getting up there in age when buying appliances appeals to you. You know, if you ever seen when our parents was, you know, you know, coming up or whatever like that, you probably seen that when you saw your parents when they would buy like little stuff, and you're like, that's not cool. You like your mama get happy off a bookshelf, and you're like, you're young, you're like, why? You don't think so?
No, but my dad one year bought my mom a vacuum cleaner for either Mother's Day or
There you
Valentine's
go.
Day one year.
That's some grown up shit right there. Where you're like, yeah, I bought my wife a vacuum cleaner. That stuff like that. Our kids don't know anything about that now. It's like we're not the cool people anymore. Slowly, or our son thinks we're cool. I think.
Sometimes, maybe.
Yeah.
Today we are.
Yeah. Yeah. Because he got a what's that hamster?
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that name, Hammy?
That's Hermesina Penelope Warren, sir.
No, he said that's not the name. He said, what's that?
That's her name. That's what I'm putting on her birth certificate.
Hammy Pineapple Warren.
Hermesina Penelope Warren. We call her Hammy for short.
Oh yeah, it's just imagination of kids. It's like it's all jumbled up or something like that, for sure. Man, what about topics today? What can we talk about? Me and you had a short conversation about it. Marvin Sapp.
He said that was a misunderstanding. He wasn't really locking them in there.
That's a possibility, but it just don't sound good.
It doesn't.
It doesn't sound good when you go to church, and that's why people are like so nonchalant now about church. I remember coming up, that's what you did on Sundays in the South.
You went to church?
Church, yeah.
Absolutely.
And my grandfather was like that when we lived up north. It's like, you're not doing nothing today. You're giving God his day, which is Sunday. No, you kids can't hang around this house. Y'all can't play video games or nothing. You have to go to church. And we would go to church for hours with my grandfather.
What denomination was he?
I forgot. I need to find out. Where's the real black church? Where you stay for hours. And on my granny's side, she was supposed to say a Christian. Not my grandfather's side, my granny's side. It's like she a Christian. You just go to church for an hour. You're out.
Were they Catholic?
Yeah, Catholic, yeah. Catholic, yeah. You're out. You know. I can't stay in church for hours. Like, I'm being honest. When it's real black church, it's like I'm like, whoa, this is bad. We thought that growing up. I'm like, this is rough. You talking about somebody like 7 or 8 had to stay in church for like 5 or 6 hours. It was very long.
It was really that
It
long?
was very. It was. I remember it being very long to the
Maybe
point
he's
I got.
Pentecostal.
Yeah, I got in trouble for falling asleep in one of the pews.
Ooh.
Yeah, my grandfather, he's like, after church, we're gonna have a talk, and it wasn't nice. The old school people, they would like, spank your bottom. I don't know what parents now do. How do you discipline your child? But it's like abuse now. You know.
That's
Well,
you hit about 3 different topics with that.
yeah, yeah. It's like what's that? Yeah, you can answer a couple of them questions in there. It's a lot going on.
So I grew up going to an AME church,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like we were there for a couple hours, unless it was first Sunday for communion.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, it wasn't hours and hours. Yeah, I remember
Mm-hmm.
being there. I didn't go to sleep. I got peppermints and ink pens to write on the program with to keep me occupied.
I wish it was easy like that for me. Ours was straight dry. Far as Marvin Sapp, man, it's like I'm not saying all pastors are crooks, but it's like they weren't very noticeable now. It's like it's about the dollar instead of the worship and the praise.
Well, I
So,
don't think everybody's like that, but
oh
unfortunately,
yeah,
I think some folks have figured out that's a way to make big money,
oh yeah,
and they take advantage of people's faith and belief in
oh
God, and
yeah,
then that makes lots of other people cynical and not have a lot of faith. So it's a very tumultuous situation.
oh yeah. Just like what was it? Some of them documentaries we've watched together, and some that you watched without me. It's like how they hook them people. You know that one woman was that where she made people believe she was God.
Oh,
What was the name of that?
it
HBO.
was something love.
Fire? Was it Fire? Or
No, that
something?
was the yoga lady.
God,
Mother, was she Mother Love or something like that? I know what you're.
that's crazy. Let me see if
Golly.
I can find that somewhere up here. I need to find it just in case people want to watch that haberdasher. Where are my? Yeah,
Yeah, that was weird.
it's on HBO. I don't have HBO on this.
But people believe, they were sending money and buying her elixirs and
Yeah, that was straight.
watching her live streams and leaving their families to come live on her land. It wasn't even a compound.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But some people sometimes fiercely need something bigger than themselves to believe in this world.
Hmm. Definitely, that's crazy. I don't have HBO Max on the computer, so
Love Wins. Was it called Love
yeah. Do
Wins?
you have your iPad? Yeah, that's crazy. It's like if anybody who's listening to this, it's definitely a watch on HBO Max for sure. It'll leave you confused. It's a lot of you'll have a lot of emotions watching this show. Definitely for sure. They have a couple of good documentaries out there, and it was almost like a cult, won't it?
Love Has Won. That was the name of
Yeah,
it.
yeah. It's man, it's off the chain.
Amy Carlson led an obscure religious group called Love as One, which was a mix of New Age spirituality, conspiracy theories, and mainstream religions. But there
Crazy.
also it was aliens involved in that
Yeah,
too.
a lot of aliens, and the aliens was gonna pick her up. I'm like, Jesus,
Yep.
man.
That was really weird. It
God,
was very intriguing to watch, but weird
creepy.
that so many people sent money and bought into her ideas and
Yeah, creepy. And the people that followed her, about this elixir that was gonna keep you alive forever. Yes, man.
and
It's
it was really Mercury
yeah, it
under
was Mercury.
blue.
Yeah, I can't. It was that documentary was interesting, but creepy enough where I won't watch it again. Yeah, it made me feel weird, and it was almost like that other one where the mother, I forgot the name of it. We won't go into it. Where she met the guy, and she ended up killing the two kids. Remember? She's going on trial.
Yes. That
She,
was on Netflix, I feel like.
yeah, man, she killed both her kids because the dude said, "Hey, you gotta kill your kids because guess what? They're fucking zombies." Who can make you think that your child is a zombie? Nobody. I guess it comes upon willpower.
Well, in reality, her son had autism.
Yeah, one of them. Yeah, but this person made you think your kids was evil. You know.
What was that one called?
Yeah, you don't have to look it up. Yeah, if you don't want to.
It's gonna bother me. But those are some interesting people, strange situations.
Creepy. Oh my god.
So anyway, back to Marvin Sapp. What do you think he was really trying to do?
Ugh.
Do you think he needs money? And
Apparently so. If you were willing to lock your whole church congregation up for what 40 G's?
I thought he was just a singer. I didn't realize he was a
I didn't
pastor.
know he was all that. Yeah, I didn't know he took it over like that either. That's why I was more confused. I don't know. I don't know what to think, but I know it's wrong. You're not so innocent. But we'll move past Marvin Sapp.
Okay.
You're a loser. We can't really talk about. We can't really talk about you. too much. You know, that's for sure. Uh, how do you feel about the 42nd Oyster Bar finally closing its doors after
Um,
all these years? You being a Raleigh native, it's been here since you were
Probably before I was born.
before you were born. Yeah, it's been
I've
around.
never been there.
But that's probably pretty sad. But you don't eat oysters, and they probably started out with just oysters.
Well, it used to be like a hole in the wall place, and I that
Yeah,
was their big thing. And then they moved to a bigger location and got kind of fancy. I feel like my mom and them used to go there when it was a hole in the wall place, but they weren't really interested once it got to be a fancy smancy place. But no, I don't care for sea boogers, so I
call them
wasn't
sea
really
boogers.
interested in. Yeah, that was never placed on my radar. So, and it's kind of like, okay, it's closing.
Yeah, yeah. I never got to eat there either. But the funny thing is, what does that mean for other businesses and the way we, consume products and stuff like that? Is it just all going away, or it's just that one spot that just didn't renew their lease?
Well, if I remember correctly, I feel like it was a privately owned, family owned
Mm-hmm.
business, and I think probably the next generation wasn't interested in continuing in that field, so there was no one to take it over. Plus, they were leasing the
Yeah,
building.
that's crazy. I'm like, I don't understand it. I want somebody that knows the business to kind of tell me how it works. Come like after a while, you've been open for over 30 years. You could basically buy your own building at this point.
But probably some folks think it's easier just to lease it and make
Yeah,
someone else pay for the upkeep. And then if the area changes and it's not what you want anymore, you're not tied down. You can just finish your lease and move on to a new spot.
yeah. That's about how it goes. Definitely. Man, I feel sorry for them. I don't know about, like I said, it makes you wonder a big staple like that in little small businesses, will they be gone too? And it just become corporate. You
Well, there's a faction of people who don't want to eat at chain restaurants, who will help keep those kind of places in business. It's just the cost of things, the inflation,
Very
how much
much.
overhead can you really manage before you're not making money? And then, let somebody, a social media influencer, come to your place. Like
Ugh.
even the bakery here in Nightdale, they were just kind of trucking along. And then two social media influencers talked about them
You,
and they're selling out every
you're
day.
like, hey
So,
man, did you just check out this doggone banana pudding? Man, it's the greatest.
and they got lines and they selling out. So I guess you can just pray for an influencer to come to your restaurant.
Yeah,
Used to be Guy Fieri would put you on diners, whatever
yeah.
it was called, and dives. Now you don't need that.
You
You
don't
need
even see. I don't even
an
see him anymore.
influencer.
Is he still alive? I haven't seen him in
I
years.
think he's still alive.
Years. But yeah, you just get some young person, not hating on the young people, but they speak fast. Hey, yeah, oh, I had a banana pudding. It's delicious. Come
This
here. Such
smacks.
yep, come here. Such. She's like, I think I need to eat some of that because I'm strolling on Instagram and I'm looking for something sweet. I think I'll go. You know. But yeah, it's a weird game how stuff works definitely works now.
One who says it doesn't come back later. You think about Big Lots. They had Big Lots when I was a kid, and then they all went out of business and they were closed. And then 15, 20 years later, they opened again and now they're
There
closing.
now they're closed
So,
again.
maybe the time Dylan's grown, they'll have Big Lots again. So
They probably
maybe.
had big loss before that, but did you know the funny thing about it is what went away? I don't know if it went away before, but it's not no longer with us. It's Kmart. I like the Kmart. I want the Kmart to come back. I'm sorry.
But they still have Kmart in Australia, I think. That's still a big store
That's
for them.
crazy. But it's the US. It's like we're a bunch of punks, man.
Which it's
We just get rid
interesting
of
that
stuff.
Kmart closed because they had brand deals with Martha Stewart.
Yeah.
They had brand deals with Nicki Minaj. They had brand deals with that guy from Train, I think. One of those
Yeah.
guy,
They had a couple of things. Couples that
it's
people.
like I'm did that not drive people to the stores to get those folks? I mean, I like the Martha Stewart towels and stuff myself,
Well, you
but
know how people it's consumerism is so weird to me. It's like some people are just like, I don't care if Nicki Minaj got clothes in Kmart. It's still Kmart. I'm not gonna rock it. When you have people probably like us that's like, man, this shirt is nice. What? It's only $15. Yes, I'll buy it. You know what I'm saying? It's like people like it's like the name brand. It's the brand name possibly, but I wear what's good for good for me. What looks
Right.
good.
If it looks good and it's a good price, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I'm just not a big. Like I told you, I'm not a big person skimping by on my feet. My sneakers. Not just because everybody else wears them. I wear what's good for my feet. Because that's what holds up your frame. Definitely. Yeah.
I love a good Birkenstock.
A
So
Birkenstock. A lot of people do. I see more men wearing Birkenstocks now. And people of color wearing Birkenstocks now. It used to be, used to people of color didn't, rock those Birkenstocks, but now they're in them. I saw a woman today while we were out. She had on glittery ones. I don't know if they were real Birkenstocks.
they weren't real Birkenstocks.
You
But even
know,
so,
huh?
I said they weren't real Birkenstocks.
Did you see them?
I didn't see them.
Yeah,
But I was just looking on the Birkenstock website earlier this week, so I know what they got.
I was like, there's a lot of glitter for Birkenstock. Y'all are switching the game up. That's the whole factory on your feet. I don't know what it is. When you get a certain age as a woman, you have to wear a whole bunch of glitter on your body. My aunts, I love you guys. If you listen, my auntie May and Auntie Gloria, I'll say that. Probably more my Auntie Gloria. Last time I saw her, she had a full glitter hat on. A baseball hat. We both saw her. You probably didn't notice it. I'm like, yeah, that's that age right there. When you see yourself leaning towards shiny stuff.
Dazzle every now and again.
Yeah, like my mom. God rest her soul. She like that silvery gold mess. I went to her apartment. I'm like, yeah, you're getting old. There's too much of this. And the dresses, it's like,
So I shouldn't show you my new diamond studded baseball cap I bought with the matching jacket.
No, that's that old school.
Are you an old lady if you put all that stuff in your car too? If you want the blinged out steering
wheel?
wheel?
Yeah, I've seen some ladies just like they was weird. That lady who was driving that cyber truck was old. And she had them little eyes on the front of the cyber truck.
The googly eyes.
I'm like, man, you are doing too much. Your car, you shouldn't be tapping in, putting that type of stuff on your car. Put eyelashes, lips, noses on it. Yeah, you're getting old. You do stuff.
No
shit
eyelashes
like that.
On the headlights for you.
Yeah, you're doing crazy shit.
It looks really cute on those little Volkswagen Bugs.
Yeah.
So speaking of those, there's a trend now to call those Polly Pocket cars. The old new version of them, to get a convertible one of those and get it painted pink, and it's your Polly Pocket car.
Oh Lord, the trends.
It's really cute. I wouldn't want pink, or I wouldn't want hot pink, but a red one, that would be really cute.
Oh Lord,
a little zippy around town convertible car.
Yeah, well, we shouldn't talk about cars because nobody's gonna be buying a car for the next couple of years. You're not. Them tariffs, you're not gonna pay that extra.
Well, apparently they had a boom recently in people getting cars before the tariffs.
Before the tariffs, they're gonna lose their damn minds. I don't know what that means for our future. I hope it gets better.
Part of me wonders if they do all this to panic us and then do something to flip the script and reverse it and then make it look like they fixed things and made it all better. Is this all really some bigger
rouge?
Right.
Yeah. But didn't you say that, or somebody said that, and everybody got panicked?
Bait and switch.
Yeah, and then it all smoothed out and stuff like that. Because it don't really make any sense. Like I said, it's just gonna make the consumer not buy anything. You know what I'm saying? You look at somebody like your uncle. I have a couple of uncles that are, they're good with their money. They're not gonna overly spend, crazy amounts of money, and they're tight with their money. Imagine now how tighter they're gonna be, with their money. But anyway, That's it. We could talk about Dylan now and his hamster. His hamster. First pet
Yep.
in the house. What are you doing over there? Anyway. Yeah.
You and him went to the pet store. How'd y'all end up at the pet store yesterday?
I forgot we drove by there. What were we in the parking lot for? I forgot. No, we had talked
Arby's?
about it. Possibly. Yeah. We went to Arby's. He wanted some fries. And he saw PetSmart. And he said, what's in there? And I told him, the whole thing, what they got going on there. I said, do you want to go in? I thought he was going to say no. He said, let's go in because they got kitties. Didn't see any kitties, but we saw lizards and hamsters and guinea pigs and fish. So that's how we ended up with a family pet, I guess. Little
We'll see how it goes.
female hamster, dwarf hamster. That's very cute. And I hope we were able to take care of her for sure. Me and you both was like, I don't know. It's been years since I've had a pet. And I have not had a hamster before.
I've never had a hamster either.
So.
But maybe somebody eventually will be willing to touch her.
Yeah, well, she was a little, what's that? I would say agitated, a little nervous in the box.
Yeah.
And we had to dump her in there. We'll definitely give it a go.
We gently plopped her. We didn't dump her.
Yeah, we didn't dump her in there. Yeah, I feel like she jumped out herself. She was like, I'm going.
I mean, she got a 2-story condo with a wheel and a platform for her food and a tube. And
yeah.
She already got some snacks in there. So, I mean, she didn't get a bad life.
Yeah, that's for sure. I was just very shocked how cheap a hamster is. Because I really thought a hamster probably would be very expensive.
Well, all in all, the hamster, the house, the food, the bedding.
Yeah.
Probably almost $100.
Yeah, shy from 100. But if it don't work right, we'll take her back.
We got 14 days.
Let's hope so. Well, is this our time?
We're past 20 minutes.
Yeah, we're past our time, people. I mean, of course, we don't really have a limit, but we don't like to talk you guys to death. And we did not talk about the subject we wanted to talk about, but that could be a future episode. Thank you guys for listening. And if you haven't subscribe to our page. We'll have visuals up soon and all that. I know you're just hearing our voices, but we're taking it slow. We appreciate y'all, and we'll see y'all next time.
Bye.